Unongalanga semlanjeni.
Molweni bantu bahle, igama lam nguVuyiseka Maguga, and these are Ekhaya conversations right here on Ekhaya sessions. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone that has been showing us love, your words of encouragement. Zindenza nam ndiqombe hey mhlambi right le way ndiyenzayo kubona lawe. So enkosini kakhulu, and continue to support this. It needs you guys, as you know, ba Ekhaya Sessions is for us, by us. So today I bring you another awesome creative. Kokwabe waziwa ngoba nguSyleeziwe.
Actually, Syleeziwe.
Syleeziwe.
Yes.
Oh, so we are gifted.
Yeah.
Okay. Syleeziwe.
Yeah.
And when I was busy, Syleez, by the way.
Yeah.
Akhonda?
No, kuhle man lava man, kuhle nako.
No, siyacenga.
Yeah.
Uqala kwami ukubona, it was in July. I was doing sound and performance kwenye event yayisenziwa ngiyabona. Yeah. Saw you there with Ozianda, but before that you had inboxed me on Facebook.
Sure.
Yabo. And I don't know, but it was universe or ndondon,
Sure,
but
sure.
like you inboxed me and I was like, hey, anmazi lo mjita, but I need to see him. And I didn't know about what was a Pakla event.
Yeah.
And then that was a chance for me to see you, so then ndizokwazi ukuzisa apha ku Ekhaya Sessions, yabo. And then when I saw you there, I was like, yeah, lo mjita, like when you got on stage, I didn't everything that you did, I can't azange nayo difference now. And yeah, you don't look like the poet that oikupayo, the poetry that oikupayo. And I was like, okay, you know what? I love everything that he does. Therefore, he has to come to Ekhaya Sessions.
And thank you very much for that. Yes.
And you came. You killed it. And I loved it. Nam, yabo. And I want you to tell me about your upbringing, how you met poetry. Because I don't know, man, you don't look like how you sound until I got to know you then. And like everything made sense. But okay, the reason why he sounds ingati poetry yakhe sound ingati ungumkhaya okanye inobu Africa, like you are an advocate for a language, like isiXhosa sinsongothileyo, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yabo. So like just let me in. Tell me why you sound ngohlobo. Like imvelaphi yakho, it could be it's the reason why you sound ngohlobo. So I want to know those things.
Okay, first of all, Nandisuka eDikeni, which is the Alice, no University of Fort Hare. Yeah, from there, no, the Alice Dale. Paya eDikeni, kwelali ekuthiwa kusemagaleni.
Okay. Hey, I thought it was say Rhoxeni. I'm like Rhoxeni.
Yeah.
My grandfather ngowakhona. So yeah.
So kumkhaya, sure. Yeah, so payana kukho ilali ekuthiwa
Kusemagaleni.
Yabo, that is where ndikhulele khona. Emagaleni, Imagala, ekwi-region ekuthiwa kuseGwali. eGwali kukho ukumkani uhlala kwenye ilali phayana close to leyam kuthiwa iseNcuthoyi.
Okay.
Yabo, that is the environment endikhulele kuyo. So I did a primary yam phayana eNtulikazi. That is when I actually got introduced to poetry. Actually, isihobe, because sasenza imibongo.
Oh yeah.
I was introduced to poetry by utishala wam wesiXhosa, who was also utishala we art and culture and history, Mr. M. Swartboy. Yena wayehlala kwenye ilali phaa ngaphesheya kuthiwa kuseKrwaqwa. So wayesifundisa, and njengebesifundisa nje wayesibetha. To an extent aqonda ube andiyincanya le into.
Hey, dog.
But later on, I fell in love with it. Yeah, but I fell in love with it because as bandikhula, I got to a high school. Fika kwami high school ndapolisheka.
Yes.
Yeah, and laa nto yayithoba kakhulu i-self-esteem yam. So the only escape I had
It was poetry.
was to just write. And I could write lava. I was a spaza rapper.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a spaza rapper. And not just spaza rapper, but occasionally rap. I wanted everyone to know once I got a microphone and as I get on stage, when I always wanted that reaction from the crowd.
Yeah, which is what you do even now.
Yeah. So I started back when I was like 14 years.
Yeah.
Ufuna la attention, but when I get on stage,
Maqala.
it's fine. You can do your thing. It's fine. Bukela, ndiqhwabele izandla. But when it is my turn,
Makube manzi phansi.
ndifuna niyazi ba man noba ke balisolo beyibeka umandi izolo but khona man leyana. I wanted to be that one.
Yeah.
Yabo. So whenever ndibhala, I try to have a punchline. I try to have indlela a creative, because if uyaqaphela poetry and rap uyafumanisa uba izitori njengoba ziyezibaliswa ziphinde fumanisa uba man esi story siyafana nesiyana, but how do I make eyami into ibe
Be
different
authentic
from
and yeah.
leya ibebalisiwe? Because I would make an example with a poetry which is based le poem is based on gender-based violence. Yabo, ndiyibiza ingqawule. There are a lot of poets that talk about gender-based violence. There's so many of the poems out there, but I wanted to make mine about so poetry is like that because Kala and ndisebenzisa as an escape. And to be honest with you, at some point apha elifeni yam I had anger issues.
Yes.
Yabo, like anger issues, bruv. Fumanisa uba ndinomsindo nandiwazi umsindo wam ndizawukhuphela phi. And andazi noba yaba lithamsanqa okanye kwathini, when I get onto the microphone, la emotion bendinayo ngoba ndibhala, it comes out nangoku ndiperformayo. If benendangathi sifuna ulila ngoba ndibhala, xa ndiperforma you will see uba
So hence the facial expressions.
that is
Which-
where
which-
they coming from. And like if I just want to look, I do
Yeah.
that. Sorry.
So the transition from e-rap to e-poetry, because usually abantu they go from spoken word to rap. And
Yeah.
okanye from poetry to rap, but
Yeah.
when it's the other way around, it's a rap. Okanye I don't know, it was poetry, then rap, then you went back to poetry. But I want to know the transition from rap to e-poetry. How did that happen?
Yonke le way yenzeke ufika kwami I think 2016.
Okay.
Kusuka kwami Alice I was a rapper. Bonise kuthiwa ngo my man. Fully straight cap, $1 sign. Yeah, I was like that.
You were that
know.
guy.
So when I got to Apa, I met a guy at Ekhaya college with day 35.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine. And then at day 35, I invited on your show. There was Lele was a poet, and I was like, okay, I can do poetry. Maybe let me try. And once I tried it, one bookish Lele for Inkonjani Foundation. But man pali poem eti ebai. Poem about ebai nje. Kwando ndifumana ngebai ndifake
Yeah.
pakla poem. What's that battle 1.5? That poem was like 7 minutes. So I was like, okay, with poetry you can have like 7 minutes on stage and be paid 1.5. Like shit, that's crazy. I know rappers that as Gongoza goes radio station, like yasil
Yeah.
So yenzeka ngolo hlobo. It's not like kwabakho into that was very big and ayibonayo. Yabo.
That
But
made
ke,
you usuke from
Yeah.
e-rap to poetry.
It was just nje okwakufuni ngathi ndifuna imali, but kwafumaniseka uba I had always been a poet.
A poet more than a rapper.
Yabo, I had always been that.
And
Yeah,
then, so I want to know, what does poetry mean to you?
okay. poetry, I would say, poetry, kwesi stage ndikuso ngoku as an artist, I would say like an upcoming artist, it is the only thing that makes sense in my life.
Yes,
It is the only thing that makes sense in my life. And as babenchilo, qala ne, it was an escape. And then as bandikula, it's something that I can live out of. But besides that, ndiyafumanisa uba bakhona abanye abantu abaphilayo out of what I write okanye what I say into the poetry. And ndiyadiscoverisha uba actually I think poetry is what I was sent down to earth to do.
Yeah.
Yabo.
So
Yeah.
you had to go back to it because you were first introduced to it usemncinci.
Yeah.
And then it yaba rap, because I also think when you are a teenager, poetry is not as fashionable as rap.
Yes.
And so you had to go la road,
So that
but
ufite
into
kwabanye
yakho,
abantwana.
yeah, but into yakho, it has
It was-
always
it
been
was-
ilenduki poetry. So your poetry, I know you started alone, and then you had a duo. You had Inkenke,
Yeah.
and then you had a duo with Uzianda, and then after Zianda, now you have Ubuntu Makwande.
Makwande.
I know you can't do this alone, but I want to know, what is it about Europe? What is it about the collaboration that you like so much?
Tricky. Okay. First of all, Jonga, when was it? I think back in 2019. 2019, I was invited kwenye show. I think I show Kamo Soul. Invited kwenye show. Okay. It was a poetry show. Yabo. Like, I think it is as yazithandayo uba zigqame xa igame yazo staging. So then sanodibana la out uNkumkani.
Yeah.
He plays the guitar. Yabo. And ndabe ndisazi noZiyanda ba she's a vocalist. So I wanted to make a cover yala ngoma ka Eminem. Sorry. Le iti I Walk on Water.
Okay.
Yabo. Like I could relate to that. Like uyabalisa ba rap makes him feel like he's walking on water. It makes him feel like he's the Jesus of today.
Yeah.
So like actually that's what poetry does to
me,
yabo.
yeah.
So I wanted to do a cover yala ngoma. And when we got to rehearsals with uKumkani and uZiyanda, kwafumaniseka uba babefunda bonke e-university.
NMU.
Yo yankulu yaninzi masebenzeni sonkeni man, yabo. And then sasebenzani sonkeni, but because of amaxesha busy and nezinye differences that we had to part our ways.
Yeah.
Yabo. And then kulo journey, I am thankful of that because qala I was just doing poetry. Ndiyenze nje poetry on my own, but when I got to Inkenke, I introduced ijembe. Maseba ijembe neyincanywa man. Yabo. And then xa ndidlala le jembe kufumanisa uba banawo namanwele yane impact to the poetry
that
ndiyenzayo. Fumaniseka uba actually noba ndiyabhala ngoku andifuni uhlala kakhulu kwisilungu because isilungu and the jembe chants
Ufuna isingqi.
ndifuna sasingqi. Yabo, like yavele yayinkenke nje. But ke yaphela inkenke ndashiyeka noZiyanda. Nayo uZiyanda fumanisa uba nam ndiyakhula wakhula noZiyanda, yabo. So apha kum kusekho laa nto uba ingase idibane ibe yingoma.
Okay.
Yabo?
Okay. Not
Ingase
just the poetry.
Not just the poetry.
Amen.
Apha kum
I hear you.
kusekho laa nto uba ingase idibane ibe yingoma.
I hear
At a later stage, I don't know, but I will definitely go on my own. Like, okay, sure, this is me now. This is my poetry. This is my book. Yabo, zonke ezazinto ezilula hlobo leya. But for now,
Yeah.
ingase idibane ibe yingoma.
Okay.
Yabo. So that is why I try ba ndifake inensike instruments.
Isn't resonance.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I hear you. Fair enough. I
Yeah.
almost judged you because you
Okay.
hope it could be mali.
Bruh.
I tell you all the time. You hope it could be mali, but ke abantu ba necessary.
They are necessary, ne?
Yeah.
Because enye into that I've learned ne, ndifunde usebenza nabantu. Yabo? Because xa ndindedwa endimnejembe yam ndayazi ba okay sure it's fine. Yonke la mali zapha iza kum. Yabo? In terms of icala lemali, but in terms of growth yam as umntu, because when I got to be in a band and good band I become a leader of the band. Now there's responsibility.
So
Mase
we are
ba,
cool
"Hey,
like
bra,
ngoko.
bayasokolisa abantu lava." Manje,
But bayadingeka.
bra, phinde uyeke wenze i-voice note, okay it's fine buda yami zabona mama ndenze njani uqomba kanje. And xa ndirealize but no man actually ndiyakhula because now ndifunda so much about
Yeah.
responsibility. Yabo?
Yeah.
Ndifunda so much about her responsibility and ufumaniseke uba okay this member apha ebandini is feeling ngathi incinci yona, how do I make him abe
Azifile.
ngathi u-equal bona
Ne?
ingane entloko enkulu ngathi yiyo how do ba sithobe
Hey, calm down.
ize
man.
kwabanye abantu.
Yeah.
Yabo? So I am very thankful that I met those guys.
Ne?
Yabo?
I
I'm
know.
very thankful. Actually, I want to thank you, love, because I met those guys kwi-Ekhaya sessions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I met those guys
That's-
kwi-Ekhaya sessions and into yavele yakhula and
It's nicer. It's authentic. It's different. I love it. And
Yeah.
and I don't want to lie. So, next question: what is our responsibility as artists to the next generation? Because I'd say, what would you say to Syleez omncinci?
okay.
Yabo, so because I think mindset yam ngoku isekubeni ba like everything that I do now ndiyenzela for the next artist, because I feel like if bangabana kwakukhona umntu owenza lento endenzayo for mna then mhlambi ngendiqabele ndafurther.
Yes,
Yabo?
yes,
But
yes.
that didn't happen, so I saw in need yayo ba mayenzeke. Therefore, I'm doing everything that I do now for the next artist. Ithi nje ibe kude kunam. So, what do you think is our role as the artist for the next generation?
Okay. What you are doing, bruh, I think iyawuphendula lo mbuzo.
Okay.
Because lava fonini. I remember, when was it? Ndabona ipost yakho ku Facebook. I think it was your birthday, and birthday yakho uzayenzela kokwenu.
Oh,
and
yeah.
what, and you invited people. Like, look at it now. Yeah, like there's corner artists that are out there watching and like, yeah, anambulelo ulava, because if it wasn't for ulava we wouldn't be here. And that is the same thing that I want to do as well. That is the same thing I want to do as well. Like, whenever I get a chance, let's say the Bonba Kesho, Lomchita, a poet or a rapper, there's a mom kutas like say bra. And more especially, Anfuni Ibengaba, but Jonge Kum as like a poet by you are Brian Betela. But I wanted to be yongi rapper or yongi poet that is singing the bene impact in the inside moment by. So what I do, kwaba that are looking up to me, ngixelela bra, the only way eyona nto ufuna ukuzistressa ngayo wena as an artist is to make time for your craft. For now, let's say awukafumani chance uba ube sestagini and be like, but make time for your craft.
yeah.
When you get that chance,
Ube
ube
ready.
uyibomb. Akho nto ndingayithandi lava ingathi, let's say wena ne uthi there's a show ufuna uyenza,
Okay.
ne? And then you invite us, sizi artist, and then I get on stage, choker. Bra, rehearse your stuff. There are people abaqala ukubona, bra. There are people abaqala ukubona bazawuxa besiva uSyleez, how God le choker ba. Yabo. So I would say artist elandelayo, make time for your craft. Because yabona xa mna ndibelieve kwi-craft yam, it is easy for you ba ubelieve kwi-craft yam.
Definitely.
It is easy for you ba undibize undinike platform because you know that I believe in my craft. And when I get a chance to showcase umsebenzi wami, I do that. Yabo. So I'd say siz artist ezinga masite zalafe by. Let us make more spaces like these as fana nezgalava. It's fine, won't always like song sense ba kube show is something, but make a platform for artists elandele emva kwakho. Yabo. If yabona instead of ba criticize umntana criticize mkhuthaze mnike skill ba okay, this is how I do it mna let's say I write, if ndine poem endisebenza kuyo, I write 5 lines for namhlanje ndiyamake ndiyocinga. And the other thing endiyenzayo ndiyahamba ndipaka imoto ndibe phaya elwandle, just sit nje ubukela amaza. You get inspired. Zikhona into ezifikayo, zikhona ideas ezenzekayo, yabo. So yeah.
Okay.
That's what I can say.
The last and final question, a famous question about the Ekhaya conversation. I want to know, has there ever been a time where you felt like you needed to prove to yourself, bah, this is your thing? Ukon ba, go out, but you had to get up and I don't know, uzimpombe prime, uzibreak, and then umlilo kakhona uphinde uvote. So has there ever been a time where you felt like, hey, I need to prove to myself, not even to the people that are following you, kanye love your poetry, but you needed to prove to yourself? Because as you say, ba, xa ukholelwa kuyo, it's easy for him na, ba mandikholelwa kuyo. Which is what I always say, but my music, I know the power of healing my music has kum. Therefore, that healing, it transfers to whoever that is watching.
Yeah.
Yabo, so noba kungabhlungu kangakanani ndingathi xa ndibhala lo ngoma, like undize ndambhala ndigodola nandihlala kwenye indawo, laa ndawo yayinomnyango, umnyango wayo like you could see ngaphandle. It was in August, ungena inqele. And I just started to learn how to play guitar. So imino yami yayinamajunjungu.
Sure.
And it was around about 9. And ndabhala laa ngoma. It was one of the most painful things I've ever done in my life. But at that moment, I needed to write that song, ndigqibe, so that I can prove to myself, but this is my thing. And then when I get on stage, ndibhala incwadi, and then abantu like, yo, it's that song, yabo, because iqale kum qala. So I want to know, kuwe ke ngoku, has there ever been a time where you felt like, hey, I need to prove to myself, but this is really my thing?
Yeah, and that time was late 2019 or early 2020. Yeah. Here's the thing, ne? Who's this? And as young man went to middle, but there's a poetry competition that is happening.
Yo.
Yabo. Recite your own poetry. Okay. Difage, and there was a joining fee of 400. Like, 400. Difage 400. It's fine. And then we go to the competition. There is a month. Yabo. I was preparing a poem that I could do. Like, hey, it's a performing poem. Like, there's a lot that I could choose from, but I need a poem ezaba eyokulwa, because this is a competition. It's not like but you do 3 poems and then you get off the stage. But the poem eyokulwa, so that you can move from stage soqala
to the next.
To the next one. Yeah, so we were given a theme. It is not in the land, but in the person. Like actually, it's not in the person.
It's in the land.
But anyway, so the bala. I think the bala for 2 weeks. After that 2 weeks, still the poem is still not ready. Like I wanted the poem that it perform. I could feel, yeah, this is me. Yeah, so, but gay, I had to stick to a theme.
Whatever that, yeah.
When man, these rehearsals in many poems, but let me get on stage. I got on stage. No, and then the 2 lines from that poem. I could not feel it. Man.
Yeah.
And remember, this is a competition. What do I do? No one else, just 2 lines from that poem. And then I switched to Le Iti Ingauli. And bonga abantu babe surprised because zonke poems poets figure zenza sithatha ngalawe, and then out of the blue this guy is like uqongqothwane ligqirha lendlela. Hlangana. And out of that poem I was fighting for esport to the next round. And because of that poem I made it to the next round. I would say I proved myself ngala poem, but actually I am a poet. Yeah, but because after I got off the stage, it's not just about, okay, sure, it's fine, I qualify for the next one. Ne? But I could see how people related to that.
Because
How they were
Babona also,
moved.
yeah, you are
Yes.
not limited to whatever topic.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
poet,
Yeah, I just showed up, and then I got to the next round. From the next round, I did good napayana, and then I won the competition.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so now we are finalizing izinto ze-trip because what you call this? Reward was to get a trip to Europe.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
So out of yonke la way yala competition, I learned a lot, and I had to believe in myself uqala before I could convince wonke
Omnye
umuntu
umuntu.
andivotele I believe kum.
Esa.
Yabo. So yeah, after that competition I could stand firm like, my name is Syleez,
By the way. Yeah.
and like yeah.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you for honoring this invite. I want to say, keep on doing you.
Yeah.
Noba, you whoop. Okanya, you whoop. But keep on doing you. It's nice. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Poetry yako is just, it's something that I've never experienced, and each and every time ndikubona, like ndiyenqoma, like yo, I'm glad this person got to share the way apha ku Ekhaya sessions, and now like we are baba. You understand?
Yeah.
And I love it so much. Yeah, but so I just wanna say, keep on doing you. It's gonna get bigger and better. Hane? Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys next week at 5 p.m. ngolwesithathu with another awesome creative. Otherwise, igama lam nguVuyiseka Maguga, also known as Love Child, and this is Ekhaya Conversation. Diabulela kakhulu.
Uyalukhuthula uluthize kuvela umsizi ndizobe izulu ngesibhakabhaka samanzi umhlaba ngegada indalo ngelizwi uluntu ngothuli isiqalekiso ngesono uyalukhuthula uluthize kuvela umsizi ndizobe izulu ngesibhakabhaka samanzi umhlaba ngegada indalo ngelizwi uluntu ngothuli isiqalekiso ngesono unyana womntu simdibanisa noluthi simhlabe ephangweni sawubona imiqondiso sithi lo ibingunyana kaThixo nebhokhwe sidibanisa ngempondo noluthi sihlabe emchadini yawubikhalile sithi qamaku livumile. Why don't you see that the blood had to be shed for the message to be sent? Vuleka mhlaba ndingene vuleka mhlaba ndingene mhlaba njulinga ungakhamiseli namnye wenze amanyala namanyundululu ze awubebhenzisiwe afuna ukusifihla. Hallelujah. Igama lenkosi malibongwe batsho njalo besitya ngathi igama kulivumile kodwa noqamatha kazana na brandi. Vuleka mhlaba ndingene mhlaba njulinga ungakhamiseli namnye wenze amanyala namanyandululu ze awubefundisiwe afuna ukuzifihla. Now I'm chasing the wildlife to the city. I'm burning the wildlife to the city. Now I'm burning the forest. I'm chasing the wildlife to the city. Whoa. Bathi amadoda athatha imikhwa yezilwanyana. Kungani na amadoda sesenza imikhwa yezilwanyana? Uqongqothwane ligqirha lendlela. Umvundla inzeki lendlela yili ngunyawo lwambetha indlela lenyawo singayibona ngendlela nokho besingenawude sithwaniselanga sithetha ngendlela kodwa ndiyayithanda indlela owenza ngayo. Indlela othetha ngayo ngumgaqo wabe kwendodeni rayi qashi sizithuku zikabani zaphelele boyeni rayi jikelele nqu. Izenzo zakho bubunzulu bengcwaba lakho xa ukuthwala unqwazi kusinikela umphanga wakho rayi qashi thetha nabani na. No matter how loud you could scream, but some ears were born deaf. Blood shed so red, it's a pity that some eyes were born blind. They remain blind, they die without seeing. Ndenze ningqawule ndifuna uhlawulela zonke ezizinja zenza imikhwa nemikhulungwane. Ndimi indoda ndingunyana wesilwengu. Utata sesisinqalanqoko babhinqileyo abena ingabhinqanga uhlazo luthe dle ngaphandle ndi babonile bedlwengula bexhiphula bezithathela ngolunye kodwa ndathula ezo zehlo zenyuka. Kanibone nixim luncede please andivanga nixim now. How are we expected to defeat this? With the eyes that were born blind and the ears that were born deaf, thinking ability restricted by the measure of the box that is not even existing bar in Jalobonke, and they blame it on the system. Concentrate. I'm concentrating, I concentrated, but I still miss the concept. What do they mean by man? I try. Uyalukhuthula uluthize kuvela umsi izinto izobe izulu ngesibhakabhaka samanzi umhlaba ngegada indalo ngelizwi uluntu ngothuli siqalekiso ngesono uyalukhuthula uluthize kuvela umsi izinto izobe izulu ngesibhakabhaka samanzi umhlaba ngegada indalo ngelizwi uluntu ngothuli siqalekiso ngesono Sisku lenta inando kwenza nabudoda siskulo 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 vuleka mhlaba ndingene mhlaba ntshulinca ungakhamiseli namnye owenza amanyala namanyundululu ze awubebenzisiwe afuna ukusifihla namhlanje ndikhuthula uluthi kuvela umsizi ndizobe izulu ngesibhakabhaka samanzi umhlaba ngegada indalo ngelizwi uluntu ngothuli siqalekiso ngesono
Unongala ngasemlanjeni